New York City. Welcome to the Tripelers channel. Join us as we set off on a once-in-a-lifetime journey around the world. Over the next 133 days, we will visit 4 continents and make 55 stops across 27 countries. New York City, the most populous city in the United States, home to more than 8.5 million people. It is also the most linguistically diverse place on Earth, with over 800 languages spoken across its streets. Once known as New Amsterdam during its Dutch beginnings, today the city is made up of 5 distinct boroughs: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx and Staten Island, each with its own unique character and history. New York's iconic nickname, the Big Apple. The term dates back to the 1920s, when sports journalists covering horse races used it to describe the biggest and most rewarding prize on the circuit, the Big Apple, that every jockey dreamed of winning. The phrase quickly caught on, and musicians, writers, and travelers began using it as a symbol of the city itself, a place full of opportunity, ambition, and larger-than-life dreams. Over time, the Big Apple became more than just a nickname. It became a promise that in New York, anything is possible. For centuries, New York has been a global gateway and an economic powerhouse, with its port and financial markets shaping both American and world history. It is also a true tourism titan, attracting tens of millions of visitors every year with its energy, landmarks, and endless urban adventures. Its skyline is one of the most recognizable in the world, filled with architectural icons and record-breaking skyscrapers, while at its heart lies Central Park, a vast green oasis surrounded by steel and glass. Our ship sailed into the Hudson River at dawn, so we woke up to a breathtaking panorama of Manhattan right outside our window. I have to admit, the docking location could not be better. You can simply step outside and explore New York's most iconic sights on foot. Since all our passport checks had already been completed earlier, leaving the ship was quick and easy, just a tap of our boarding cards and we were free to dive straight into the city. And let me tell you, the moment you exit the quiet terminal, New York hits you instantly. The street noise, the honking horns, the energy, and taxi drivers calling out to offer a ride wherever you are headed, it all blends into that unmistakable New York chaos. We decided to walk from the pier about a 20-minute stroll to the starting point of the big bus hop-on, hop-off tour. And for the first time ever, I cannot really recommend this option if you are short on time. We were in New York on a Sunday, and the lines were already huge at the very first stop, which meant we were losing precious minutes before we even started. It was the same story at the other stops, long queues of people hoping to hop back on. And unless you do the entire loop in one go, which is probably the only logical way to use the ticket here, you might discover that getting back on the bus is not as easy as it sounds. Judging by the length of the lines, some visitors had to wait for the 3rd or even 4th bus before they managed to find a seat. With a price of around $87 per adult, it adds up quickly. And if you are traveling as a pair or a family, you are much better off ordering an Uber or simply taking the subway. Unfortunately, when every minute in the city is precious, this option did not work for us, and we honestly regretted buying the tickets. Just a few steps from Bryant Park stands the New York Public Library, an architectural masterpiece opened in 1911 and guarded by its famous marble lions, Patience and Fortitude. We decided to hop off the big bus in Lower Manhattan and make our way toward the heart of the American financial world. Right in the middle of the financial district, you will find Louise Nevelson's Shadows and Flags, 7 massive black steel sculptures that look like abstract flags caught in the wind. The New York Stock Exchange is the largest stock exchange in the world by market capitalization and one of the most influential financial institutions on the planet. Its current building on Wall Street opened in 1903, featuring a grand neoclassical facade that feels more like a temple than a trading floor. For over a century, this place has been the heartbeat of global finance, where fortunes are made, lost, and reshaped every single day. Just steps from Wall Street stands Trinity Church, a landmark with more than 300 years of history. Its churchyard is also the final resting place of Alexander Hamilton, one of America's founding fathers. It is honestly funny to watch American entrepreneurship in action. Surrounded by skyscrapers owned by billionaires, you suddenly pass tiny stands selling hats, keychains, and miniature statues, all doing everything they can to squeeze a few extra dollars out of tourists. It perfectly reflects that very American mindset. If you are willing to work, there is always a way to earn. And here on Wall Street, you can feel that belief everywhere. Charging Bull, an 11-foot-tall, 7,000-pound bronze beast created by Italian-American artist Arturo Di Modica as a surprise gift to New York after the 1987 stock market crash. The bull has become a symbol of financial optimism and power, and a must-see tourist stop. Visitors believe good luck is guaranteed if you rub its nose, horns, and let's say, its gleaming rear quarters. Hunger finally kicked in, so we decided to try some of New York's famous street food, those little carts that stand on almost every corner, serving everything from fried chicken to pretzels and hot dogs. Alex went for fried chicken, while we wanted the classic New York hot dog. But again, New York showed us its sweet and bitter side. Right next to us stood a man without shoe, lost somewhere far from our world. We asked the vendor to add a hot dog for him to our order, and that moment turned into a conversation with the seller, a very kind Egyptian man whom we warmly greet if he ever sees this. He told us that this is the daily reality of New York, that you can stand in front of the headquarters of the world's richest companies and at the same time see a homeless man. Big cities are like adults. They grow, they succeed, they look strong, but they still carry problems they have never truly solved. After a walk along the East River and a look at the Christmas installations, it was finally time for the countdown. 3, 2, 1, coffee time. And here came one of New York's unexpected surprises. Finding a good cafe is oddly difficult compared to other cities we have visited. And even when you do find one, check if they have a restroom. In our country, it is mandatory for cafes. But here in New York, we learned the hard way that even a Starbucks can hand you your drink and food and then tell you there is no bathroom, not even to wash your hands. Luckily, our search ended in the wonderful place, a Puerto Rican cafe called 787 Coffee. Great atmosphere, great service, great coffee, and everything we needed to recharge and continue exploring New York City. From there, we continued toward the New World Trade Center, a striking white building designed by Santiago Calatrava, known as the Oculus. Its wings of steel and glass were meant to resemble a bird taking flight, a symbol of hope rising from the heart of Lower Manhattan. Inside, you feel as if you were standing in a cathedral of light, peaceful, bright, and almost weightless. Just outside lies the 9/11 Memorial. Two enormous reflecting pools stand exactly where the Twin Towers once rose, with water cascading into what seems like an endless void. Along the bronze edges are engraved the names of every person who lost their life on September 11th. Next to the memorial, on the site of the former complex, rises One World Trade Center, a 541-meter tower that now defines the new Manhattan skyline. St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church, rebuilt after being completely destroyed on September 11th, now stands as a symbol of resilience and hope just steps from the World Trade Center. From our conversations with our Uber driver, we learned that the cost of living on Manhattan is truly enormous monthly rent. For a standard 2-bedroom apartment ranges between $7,000 and $10,000 United States dollars. Manhattan is also one of the most expensive rental markets in the world, often rivaling places like Hong Kong, Singapore, and central London. Here, you are not really paying for the apartment. You are paying for the privilege of having a Manhattan address. Because our time in New York was so limited, we did not manage to see any of the legendary Broadway shows. Broadway is the heart of American theater, home to more than 40 professional stages, and some productions run for so long that they have been performed thousands of times. Broadway Street is the longest street in New York City, stretching all the way through Manhattan, and right along it sits the most famous intersection of them all, Times Square, often called the crossroads of the world, and the place that truly never sleeps. Surrounded by giant screens, neon lights, and an ocean of people, you feel as if you have stepped straight into the center of the world. Originally called Longacre Square, it was renamed Times Square in 1904, when the New York Times moved its headquarters into the building, now known as One Times Square, the same tower where the famous New Year's Eve ball drop takes place. Since then, it has become a global icon home to Broadway theaters, world-famous billboards, and countless movie scenes. It is loud, chaotic, overwhelming, and absolutely unforgettable. No matter how many times you have seen it in films, standing there in person is a completely different experience. Traveling by subway in New York City is incredibly convenient. You do not need to buy a ticket at a machine or a counter. You simply tap your phone at the turnstile and go. Trains run very frequently, and the subway lets you move between the city's major attractions faster than any other form of transport. The next morning, we woke up very early, determined to see as much as possible before our ship set sail. We started with DUMBO, one of Brooklyn's most iconic neighborhoods. Its cobblestone streets and old red brick warehouses frame the perfect view of the Manhattan Bridge, a scene so famous it has become a New York postcard in itself. DUMBO is full of hidden stories from its name, meaning down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass, to its centuries-old cobblestone streets and its role as a film set for countless movies. Just a short walk away rises the legendary Brooklyn Bridge, opened in 1883 after 14 years of construction. More than 6,000 workers helped build it, and at least 27 of them lost their lives in the process. Crossing the bridge on foot is an experience unlike any other. The entire structure stretches for more than 1.8 kilometers, roughly the height of 5.5 Eiffel Towers, stacked on top of one another and walking its wooden pathway with the Manhattan skyline unfolding in front. You feels like stepping into the very heartbeat of New York. On the map, our walking route looked perfectly manageable. In reality, it turned into a small marathon we had to run to make it to our next attraction, which was booked for a specific time. A little tip for anyone visiting New York. If your map or app says something will take 15 minutes, multiply it by 2. With filming, taking photos, and the city's actual walking distances, Google Maps is extremely optimistic here. We finally rushed into the helicopter terminal, where one of the staff members greeted us in Polish, instantly melting away the stress of being late. After a quick safety video, we put on our life vests and were guided out to the helipad. We were incredibly excited. We love helicopter flights. Although Alex loves them so much, he actually fell asleep during the last one. For our friends from France, whom we warmly greet, it was their very first helicopter ride. So during takeoff, we had the unique opportunity to learn a few new French swear words. Statue of Liberty, officially named Liberty Enlightening the World. This monumental sculpture was a gift from France to the United States in honor of the 100th anniversary of American independence. Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi worked on the statue for 21 years, while Gustave Eiffel designed its internal iron framework. Completed and unveiled in 1886, the statue stands an impressive 93 meters tall and weighs around 200 tons. Her copper exterior, originally a shiny reddish-brown, slowly transformed into the iconic green we know today, the result of natural patina formed over decades. And the scale is almost unbelievable. Her index finger alone measures about 2.4 meters, making any person standing next to her look incredibly small. With 7 rays on her crown symbolizing the 7 continents and 7 seas, Lady Liberty was the first glimpse of America for millions arriving by sea, a shining promise of freedom and new beginnings. One of the most iconic and instantly recognizable buildings in New York City is the Empire State Building. Opened in 1931, this Art Deco skyscraper rose during the depths of the Great Depression, and for a long time it stood almost completely empty, earning the joking nickname the Empty State Building. It has appeared in countless films, including the legendary King Kong, and it remains one of the most famous silhouettes on the Manhattan skyline. The Empire State Building was constructed using limestone and granite. And incredibly, the entire structure was completed in just 410 days, which means workers built, on average, 4.5 floors every week. Our flight with Charm Aviation lasted around 15 minutes, and it instantly became the highlight of our entire New York visit. Seeing the city from above made it so much easier to remember all those iconic landmarks we had explored on foot. Suddenly, everything connected into one breathtaking skyline. We truly recommend this experience to everyone, and we will record a separate video with all the details. Our pilot also showed us the USS Intrepid that now serves as a museum, with a Concorde displayed on its deck, anchored right next to our cruise ship. The Intrepid has an incredible history. It even survived multiple kamikaze attacks during the Second World War. After the flight, full of new energy, we walked to the Staten Island Ferry Terminal, where a Wendy's restaurant is located. During my first year of university, I worked in a Wendy's in Myrtle Beach as part of the work and travel program. So I really wanted to show Alex what I still consider the best crispy chicken. And of course, no sentimental food tour would be complete without a donut from Dunkin' Donuts. Knowing New York's distances and our own limits, we rushed into the subway to quickly reach a place I had been dreaming of seeing, Grand Central. It's always exciting when the expectations you've built from photos and videos finally collide with reality. And I have to admit, I was not disappointed. Grand Central Terminal is not just a train station, it's one of the most spectacular buildings in the entire city. Opened in 1913, it is the largest train station in the world by number of platforms, with 44 platforms and 67 tracks spread across 2 underground levels. Inside, the main concourse feels like a cathedral of travel. The famous 4-faced opal clock at the center is valued at over $20 million, and above it stretches the stunning turquoise ceiling, painted with constellations, a star map intentionally drawn in reverse, as if seen from a divine perspective. Outside, a band of street musicians was playing, making our walk even more pleasant. In restaurants and eateries around New York, you'll often notice letters posted by the entrance like A. These letters are sanitary inspection grades issued by the local health authorities. An A grade means the place meets the highest standards of cleanliness. And don't be too surprised by the power source of many food carts. Most of them run on portable generators, adding a bit of fumes and a gentle rumble to the New York atmosphere. On our way to Rockefeller Center, a landmark complex built in the 1930s, right in the heart of Manhattan, we made a quick stop at the Nintendo store. After a brief encounter with Bowser and Mario, and with a new hat and scarf in hand, we returned to exploring the Art Deco Center with the golden statue of Prometheus and the world's most iconic Christmas tree that lights up every December. The center was the vision of John Rockefeller Jr., and it became one of the largest private construction projects ever completed in the United States. Today, it is home to television studios, shops, and the Top of the Rock observation deck, which offers some of the best views of the Empire State Building and Central Park. It is a place where business, art, and entertainment meet, a symbol of New York's energy, ambition, and timeless style. Seeing Rockefeller Center in person didn't exactly blow me away. It was incredibly crowded, and the famous Christmas tree was wrapped in scaffolding. But one thing that truly impressed us was the 4 to 5 meter tall sculpture of Atlas by Lee Laurie. It is absolutely worth stopping to admire. Just be careful not to get swept away by the crowd. Then turn around, right behind you rises the stunning St. Patrick's Cathedral. Built between 1858 and 1917 in breathtaking neo-Gothic style. Nestled among Manhattan's steel and glass towers, it feels almost as if Elsa from Frozen decided to create her own ice palace right there. It is pure magic. Right next to it, we found another spot Alex had marked on our list, and from there, we continued our walk along Fifth Avenue. Since our visit to New York fell just days before Thanksgiving, we had the chance to experience what a true New York crowd really feels like. Among luxury boutiques and famous global brands, no one seems surprised by a homeless person lying on the street, a scene that almost invites the words of Marcus Aurelius, "What are you afraid to lose?" when nothing in life truly belongs to you. Eventually, we made it to the Plaza Hotel, known from Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Unfortunately, entrance is reserved only for registered guests, so we headed straight into Central Park, one of the most extraordinary places in New York, a massive green oasis stretching through the very heart of Manhattan. Created in the 1850s, it was the first landscaped public park in the United States, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux as a peaceful escape from the rapidly growing industrial city. Today, Central Park covers about 341 hectares, which means it is more than 7 times larger than the entire Vatican City and even bigger than the country of Monaco. With lakes, forests, meadows, bridges, and winding paths, it is a place where you can easily forget you are surrounded by skyscrapers. Since our ship was already preparing to depart, we grabbed an Uber to get back to the pier quickly and to chat a little more with our driver on the way. One thing is certain. You definitely need more time to explore New York properly. This time we didn't manage to see the Guggenheim Museum, the Museum of Modern Art, or catch a Broadway show, all of which we'll have to make up for next time. I would also love to see the city in spring or summer. Let us know in the comments which places are worth visiting. I'm happy to add new hidden gems to our list, not necessarily the most touristy destinations. New York undoubtedly has a unique energy and dynamism. It is a city of contrasts, and it's simply impossible to be bored here. Our captain said goodbye to the city by turning the ship around Lady Liberty, making sure everyone had a perfect view from their balcony. Thank you, Captain. And so, with the sun setting, we sailed under the Verrazano Narrows Bridge and headed toward Charleston.
Tripelers, like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to support us and see more quick travel reviews.